The purpose of this resource is to provide guidance for utilizing scaffolds that are embedded in your EL Education District curriculum. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students towards greater independence and understanding during the learning process. It is a temporary support that acknowledges what students already know, the barriers they will face in achieving new learning goals, and the instructional support that will benefit them in negotiating these barriers. Throughout this learning opportunity, we'll focus on examples of scaffolds that already exist within EL education lessons using Lesson 1 from Grade 4, Module 1, Unit 3. An EL Education Scaffold Overview document for elementary ELA grades 2 through 5 can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level module and in the teacher planning tools for your grade level curriculum. Please refer to this document for additional supports as you plan. The lesson components listed on the slide are where you can locate embedded scaffolds within lessons and will be highlighted throughout this presentation. It is important not to skip over the introductory teaching notes section of the lesson, which highlights intended learning outcomes for the lesson and offers context within the unit and the module. For example, in this lesson, students consider the question, what inspires me to write poetry, as they write their own poetry inspired by something meaningful to them. They consider structure, imagery, rhythm, and rhyme and repetition as they write. Some students may need additional scaffolding to decide what to write about. EL has included photographs in the supporting materials to help generate ideas. Alternatively, consider asking students to bring in a picture from home or cut one out of a magazine to write about. Pull students who need intensive support by putting ideas into writing into a small group. Help them actualize their ideas by having them dictate them to you. Each lesson provides a selection of supports for English language learners, but teachers should read these notes as these strategies may be helpful to all students regardless of language proficiency. It is important that students be able to distinguish between prose and poetry. Help them see the difference by contrasting fragments and run-ons with versions written in complete sentences. Have them draw emojis to show how the feeling and tone changes. For heavier support, model and think aloud as you write a poem, and then invite students to add more information to your model. Point out key elements and help children write by having them repeat or rephrase the lines. Universal design for learning is a way of thinking about teaching and learning that helps give all students an equal opportunity to succeed. This approach offers flexibility in the ways that students access material, engage with it, and show what they know. For example, in this lesson, EL suggests providing an alternative graphic organizer to students who need scaffolding. I have found that this approach is useful for many students. Using the suggested topics that EL suggests, such as my favorite hobbies, my family and friends, or things that make me feel happy, sad, seem appropriate for students requiring heavier scaffolding. But for lighter support, I like to modify the organizer to include more vocabulary-rich ideas to increase the opportunities for creative thinking. The Meeting Student Needs section offers differentiation opportunities for students. It is important to remember that effective differentiation is built on a foundation of engaging, relevant, student-friendly learning targets that clearly define expectations for learning. These learning targets remain consistent amongst all students in the classroom, regardless of the differentiation presented to the learner. Sometimes students need a little push to get started. Giving them models of different types of poems often help them see the possibilities. Take the time to discuss the characteristics of the models and determine how they all convey meaning. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students towards greater independence and understanding during the learning process. Refer to the EL Education Scaffold Overview grades 2 through 5 for additional resources that may provide further support when planning and implementing instruction. As a reminder, additional resources and professional learning videos can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level module and in the teacher planning tools for your grade level curriculum. If you need more assistance with differentiating scaffolding lessons, you may wish to reach out to the experts in your building, the ESL teachers, special education specialists, intervention team facilitators, or contact central office coordinating teachers assigned to your school for support.